Peace and love, y'all. It's your girl, Divine Priestess, tapping back in with y'all with more messages from Spirit. You already know what time it is. We got to clear the energy and the space. So to the Most High, the creator of all, God, Spirit, universe, angels, ancestors, spirit guides of divine white light are calling your unconditional love, divine guidance, and spiritual protection over this space and over this reading. Allow me to be a vessel to channel your divine wisdom and guidance and calling your protection against any low vibrational being, demon, entity, evil eye, black magic, spell work, hexes, hoodoo, voodoo, or curses, and so mote it be. Ashe. Peace and love, y'all. What's up? I am George Show. Welcome back, love. Thank you so much for being here on the live. Okay, you know, we're going to get into it. I feel like it's been at least a week. I feel like it's been a lot going on because of, you know, Milton, y'all. I'm in Florida, so Hurricane Milton was not a plaything, okay? But like I said, by the divine protection of the Most High, you could be smack dab in the middle of a hurricane and you're going to be divinely covered. You're going to be divinely protected, okay? So this is something that we all want to, you know, affirm in our lives, that when we have the power of the Most High guiding us and moving through us, right, there's nothing to fear, okay? The Most High is always going to make a way, okay? That's for sure. So today, y'all, we're going to get into a few different topics that I want to talk about. I'm not going to harp too much on the downloads because I kind of want to start focusing on the readings more, because I'm finding that these lives that end up being an hour or 2 hours long, and I'm like just doing a lot of channeling. So I really want to start zeroing in more into the card readings. But there are a few things that I wanted to touch bases on, because something that I'm starting to realize when it comes to this way that they've kind of indoctrinated us into being so promiscuous, right? Being so open sexually, being so available to, you know, basically, what's the word? You know, basically when you're having sex outside of marriage. Hey, Problem Solver 42, welcome to the live, love. So yeah, it's like we've been so open and kind of been programmed, right? All of the hypersexuality, everything that we watch on television, okay, everything that we see in movies, everything that we hear in music, right? It's hypersexuality, okay? It's made us have this energy, right, where we are wanting to just, you know, get our rocks off, you know what I'm saying, and sow our wild oats and things like that. And what has happened from this, right, is that a lot of people are out here, they're just being promiscuous, right? Not being intentional with who they're, you know, swapping spirits with. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like a lot of energy exchange is happening when you're having these sexual interactions, right? And a lot of times what's happening, right, is that we are, you know, willy-nilly in it and just kind of gambling, right? That if we are dealing with somebody that, let's say if something happens and we slip up, that this person is going to take on that role or that responsibility of, you know, fatherhood or motherhood or whatever that comes out of that a lot of times. But see, a lot of things happen, like there's these slip ups and everything, and we're just being so carefree about our sexual power, right? And we're just using it here, using it there, using it everywhere, okay? And then boom, next thing you know, we've had this child, right, out of wedlock, this child with someone that we don't necessarily care for, because we didn't really see the value or the worth in that person. We just thought that, oh, this person is just for fun, right, for just something to do in the moment, right? But did we ever have intention outside of something for this person? Hey, J Tyson 54, welcome to the live, love. Yes, so this is the thing that's happening, right? We are creating children, right, that are born with parents that not only don't care for each other, right? What I'm realizing and noticing is that a lot of parents, right, they will project that hate onto their kids, right? So like out here, we're just, you out here messing around and you get caught up with a kid, right? And then you end up having that child, and now all that resentment that you have towards this significant other, or not significant other, but pretty much the donor that you decided to have a child with, right? Now there's resentment being projected on the child because of the fact that we could not have the sense enough to be more intentional about how we're sharing our sexual power, okay? Hey, CLOX87, welcome to the live, love. Yeah, exactly. And it's sad because, yes, we use our children as scapegoats, okay? And then next thing you know, we have children that we're supposed to be pouring into, and it's like we can't even stand to look at them or stand to hear their voice because they remind you of your weak ass baby mama or baby daddy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like this negativity is being projected onto this child. Hey, loving Ray, thank you so much for the joining the live, love. Yes, so it's like we are projecting all of our mistakes, right? Because we weren't moving with intention. We weren't moving with purpose, right? We were just out here having a good time, letting our demons run rampant, okay? And then we had a child out of that low vibrational activity, okay? Lust is a low vibrational space. Lust comes from a low vibrational space, okay? So when we're lusting after things, okay, that is a spirit. There's an energy of lust. There's a spirit of lust. That's a low vibrational frequency, okay? So when we're out here and we're drinking and we're inebriated and we're out and now we all feel some type of way, right? We're out at the club and dim and dark. Everybody's smoking and drinking and we lit, right? And you know, now we feeling all turned on and shit, and now we taking somebody home later on that night, right? But it's like a lot of times we all have this understanding that when we're drunk, we're different, we're not the same, right? That's because alcohol it comes with a spirit, right? That shifts you out of your higher self, shifts you out of that soul being, right? And it now is influenced by this lower vibrational energy and force. Hey, Relove 129. Hey, baby, welcome to the live. And then what did she say? Resentment grows into the roots of the family tree. Exactly. It's the DNA. It's passed down in the lineage, right? So, bro, literally 7 girls gotten pregnant since I left for college. Bro, like I'm saying, like, and under the influence. Exactly. Because here's the thing, too. Like, even when I was in school, right? Okay, I don't lose track of how old I am, but I'm about to be like 38, I think. Like, let me do the count. Yeah, I'm about to be 38 here soon, right? Back when I was in school, okay, when I was in middle school, there was a girl that was pregnant in the 6th grade, okay? And it became like, you know, as I got older, then you would start to see like, okay, now I'm in the 7th grade. Okay, now I'm in the 8th grade. In the 8th grade, you know, then you might have 2 or 3 girls in the school that's pregnant. Then when you get to high school, you know, you might have a few. So it's like, yeah, and it's like, it's being embedded in us, right? Because here's the thing too, right? We're not being introduced to sex in the right way, right? We go into coming up and we're green, like, in a sense. We don't really know. And a lot of times, right, the parents are like scared to talk to their kids about sex, right? The parents are scared to try to approach these conversations because they're afraid of, like, you know, they don't necessarily feel like they know how to express it in the way that kids should receive it, right? And so a lot of times we don't properly educate our children about sex either. And we just lead them out to the wolves. You see what I'm saying? And then you have these people who are preying on the ignorance of your young girls and the ignorance of your young boys. And they are just being manipulated by these lower forces, these lustful energies that are going after your children, okay? Because from my own experience, when I was in middle school, I was approached with sexual, you know, like in middle school. I mean, how old are you in middle school? You're like 11 or some shit. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it just goes to show how soon you can be corrupted. And if you don't know no better, right? If you don't have the proper guidance, somebody teaching you how important it is to keep your sexual energy sacred, right? You get just thrown into this realm of something that you don't even fully fathom or understand, okay? And then you just kind of find your own way in that area, right? But here's the thing. This is the problem that is the generational curse, right? That is the repetitive cycle, because it's like we're not properly educating our kids. We were not properly educated from our parents about the importance of sex, and you know, it's not just a fun thing, right? It's supposed to be for procreation. It's supposed to be for manifestation. It's a power. It's an energy that comes from the power of two people that are coming together to connect. You see what I'm saying? Two people who have the same intention, right? That want to not only give but receive, and it's like this reciprocal energy exchange between you and someone that you decide that you want to open yourself up to sexually, right? But here we go, just out here giving our sexual power to anything and anyone, not knowing what type of attachments are on those people. Hey, Trey1 SBN, thank you so much for joining the live, love. So yeah, and then here we are passing down these generational curses onto our kids, right? Not properly preparing them for the world so they can go and make the same mistakes that we made, right? When we were young and naive and green and nobody told us, nobody gave us that proper guidance. You see what I'm saying? So the importance is that we got to stop passing on these generational curses. We have to learn how to see the error of our ways. And it's not even like it was the error of our ways. It was just our lack of understanding. It was the lack of having guidance, proper guidance there to prepare us for the world. You see what I'm saying? So it's like now that we have more understanding and more awareness, right? We need to prep our kids for that, because what we're doing is pushing them out into the world to be preyed on by wolves. Okay, you're pushing your children out here, not properly preparing them, and then they're being preyed on by demonic forces that have these lustful spirits on them that want to prey and have these sexual interactions with your young children. Okay, because I can say from experience, when I was young, I had a lot of men that was way older than me approaching me, okay, that wanted to try me and things like that, okay. And see, when you're young, you're taking that on like it's a compliment. You're looking at it like, oh, well, I'm so young, but these older men, you know, they're attracted to me. Like, I must be mature for my age, or I must be, you know, you're a fucking young girl. You're a child with that's green, that hasn't gotten the proper guidance. You don't really understand why why these older men are trying to approach you, and you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we have to get real, right? We have to get real about what we even witnessed while we were young. Because a lot of times we were young witnessing people being preyed on. We were young witnessing this behavior happening. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, this is the reality of it. And I'm just wanting to bring this a level of awareness, because more than ever, it's showing that our kids need to be protected, okay? When we're seeing all of this sex trafficking stuff in the media, and we're seeing all of the kids that they're finding in fucking shipping containers and shit like that, like, this is fucking demonic, right? This is dark. It's crazy to even hear these things are going on in the world, right? But yes, they're siphoning the energy from the youth. You see what I'm saying? And so it's a really sad thing that these things are happening and these things are going on. And, you know, but they know that the kids are the purest thing, the closest thing to the Most High, right? So it's like, and they already know that if they can get the minds of the youth by a certain age, that they'll have them and they'll be able to control them. They know that's going to be the population of the future. So they're like trying to prepare these kids for whatever they want to introduce to us, you know, in our existence in the future. You know, now they're doing all this smart city shit. Now they're doing, you know, all this weird shit is going on. So if you think about 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, what is that experience going to be, right, for our kids, right? That's something that we got to pay attention to. So yes, so that I wanted to harp on that, to then go into these pregnancy packs, okay? Because let me tell y'all something. Like, I remember being young, and remember that show, what was it called? Teenage Mom or something, Teen Mom or something like that. And it was like, they were literally glorifying this shit in the media, okay? Making fucking little girls think like, oh, well, maybe if I have a kid, I can get on this show and I'll be famous. You know, it's like, you guys are promoting this shit in the media like being a teen mom is the thing to fucking do, okay? And it's like a lot of these teens, they're fucking kids. They shouldn't be having, like, kids having kids. That's something that it just comes from the lack of, like we said, it's like being in this generational curse, right? Because you don't have anybody showing you and pouring into you that love and that guidance that you need. And so now you're a victim to lack of awareness, lack of structure, lack of guidance, lack of foundation, lack of, you know what I'm saying? You don't have any of this shit. And you're young. You just was born into this world. You've been on this earth for what, 10 years? 15 years at this age, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck do you know at 10, 15? And then people be trying to act like these kids, well, like, especially like I'm starting to see this logic that you see that people have when they start to try to talk about these young girls who may be maturing faster than their age, okay? And it's like you can see the perversion in people's hearts and minds by the way that they fucking talk about these young girls that, okay, maybe they're 15, maybe they're filling out and they look older than they are, but that fucking perverted mind is what allows you to see it from that perception. People don't realize, like, they say shit and it's like, it really lets me see where the fuck your head is at. Because how can you try to make this young child who just hasn't had the proper guidance, right? Try to make this little girl feel bad about her lack of understanding of the world because she don't have no fucking guidance. You see what I'm saying? And and then it's like they want to talk down as if this little girl is the reason why they're a fucking pervert or why they can't look the other direction and not see this and not look at this young girl lustfully. Like any grown ass man of God or woman of God or somebody who has a higher perspective that does not work from the space of lust can see that that's a broken person, a broken child that needs healing, that needs love, that needs guidance. But instead, we want to talk down on these little young, innocent girls who have been corrupted at a young age, right? And it's like, even when we see this celebrity shit and we see how these celebrities are treating, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote, you know, they want to talk about groupies and all of this stuff. These are all young girls who are being hypersexualized by the media and it's being promoted as something good. They're being glorified in the media for these things. Cardi B, Sexy Red, Glorilla, Megan Thee Stallion, whoever the fuck you want to look up to. These are girls who are being glorified in the media, okay? And they're being placed on pedestals. So do you not think that the little girls are going to think like, well, this is the epitome of what success is? Like, these people are on TV, they're rich, they're famous, they're successful. You see what I'm saying? Why don't you think that somebody's not going to correlate that to success, right? You know, and vice versa. Just like the pimping and the drug dealing and all of the low vibrational shit. It's the same thing in the media, right? They're pushing all this mob shit, pushing all this gangster shit, pushing all this murder, kill shit. You see what I'm saying? And so for the masculine aspect of it, you know, it's like a lot of crime, a lot of low vibrational things that are happening from that aspect as well, because we're being influenced by the bullshit. Hey, Green Marvin 81, thank you so much for joining the live. But yeah, take over truth and intuition. Exactly. Facts to all of that. Okay? It's all of that. And so, you know, with that being said, I'm talking about this teen mom thing, but it's deeper than this, y'all, because here's what I'm finding and starting to pay attention to, because like from an experience, right? This is a past experience, but very recent, right? Where I was dating someone who was trying to get me pregnant, actively trying to get me pregnant. Hey, Amaris, thank you so much for joining the live. So I was in a relationship with someone who was like, they wanted to get married, they want to be in this relationship, they want to have a family, all of these things, actively trying to get me pregnant, right? Actively, like, this motherfucker was so thirsty. And it was like, I thought it was cute at first, because I'm thinking like, oh, you know, whatever. But no, this person is plotting and planning, like, literally every month coming with a fucking pregnancy test. Like, take the pregnancy test. And like, it's like, it was like a fucking trap. You feel me? It's like, y'all, we got to look at sex differently, y'all. Because y'all have to understand, this is bloodline shit, baby. It's bloodline shit. Think about when marriages were arranged. Why the fuck was marriages ever arranged in the first place? It was because they were concerned about who their bloodline was crossing with. I don't want my bloodline crossing with their bloodline. They know it was about heritage, and it was about, your royal bloodline, right? And if you didn't have a certain type of bloodline, they wasn't willing to let their DNA swap. You see what I'm saying? We need to go back to that shit, okay? Like, when we looking at people and considering if we're going to have kids and we're going to swap DNA and we're going to create, like, you're taking on the lineage of this person's ancestors by creating a being with this person. So now you've combined ancestral DNA into one fucking person. Okay? This is deep. This is deeper than just, oh, I had a baby. You see what I'm saying? No, it's bloodline. If we're talking about breaking generational curses, and we don't even know what generational curses are attached to our own bloodline, right? And we don't even know what's attached to other people's bloodline. So it's like, we should be more intentional about who we decide to even have kids with. Because if you're somebody who's working on self and building yourself up or working yourself out, and you're connected with somebody who's fucking demonic, low vibrational, don't have no gumption to want to try to become a better person or anything like that, right? And you're crossing bloodlines with this person, and you're having a child with this person, right? Now that's generational curses that you putting on your baby that they're going to have to deal with as now they're going to have to go through everything that you had to go through to try to save your child from having to deal with everything that you went through. You see what I'm saying? So now you're perpetuating the cycle that, you know what I'm saying, that we want to get ourselves out of. We don't want to continue to repeat the same type of things. Ra can help. Exactly. Like, Ra can help. If you have, whether it's Ra, whether it's the Most High, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, like, you just need to be able to go to the higher power, and you need to be able to figure out, how do you heal that bloodline? How do you heal those ancestral curses and things like that? You know what I'm saying? You do have to dig and do some research and see. Everybody's DNA and history ain't from Egypt. Everybody's DNA and history, everybody ain't a royal bloodline either. So, you might be able to go to Ra, you might not. It depends. You see what I'm saying? So that's why we got to do our due diligence to figure that out. Okay. But but that's what happens. We're repeating the cycles of not being intentional about who we're having kids with, okay? And then we're passing on hate to our children, okay? And it's like, this is a way that these dark empaths, these narcissists, it's a pregnancy pact, okay? If somebody gets you pregnant and they're trying to siphon your energy, if they're trying to destiny swap with you, this is one of the easiest ways to do that. Because having a baby, a child, that is a fucking bond stronger than marriage. That's a bond stronger than any type of contractual agreement you can make with somebody, okay? So you need to start looking at this shit differently and stop just giving your sexual power away, because first of all, everybody ain't trying to procreate and have kids anyway, but that's what it's for in the first fucking place, right? So if you're not thinking about that first, right, ahead of like, well, damn, like, but are we even considering, like, what if I have a baby by this nigga? Do I really want to have a kid by him? Like, do I really? Or what if I had a baby by this chick? Do I really want to have a kid by this chick? Like, Like, do I really feel like they would be who I need them to be for my child? You know what I'm saying? Like, even just if you was going, it don't even matter. Like, y'all out here popping plan Bs, right? Y'all out here fucking doing whatever. Like, the end of the day, right? That is your baby. Even if you killed that baby is still connected to you. That energy is still connected to you. And that's some more karma now attached to you as well. So it's just like, why quit? Like, that's, to me, it's irresponsible if you just out here fucking just to have sex raw, and you just going to go get abortion every time you get pregnant, or you just going to go take to a plan B every time. Like, you think that you don't not get no karma from that? Like, that shit, I just don't even get the mindsets of people these days. But like I said, them people is just empty vessels with low vibrational entities driving them. Okay? Because you got to be low vibrational to even have the kind of mindset that you are going to do your offspring that in that way. You see what I'm saying? And not be like, my thing is, okay, I'm not saying that because you took if you did that, okay, but if you're doing it in a sense of like a sense of fucking contraceptive, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got something right in your motherfucking head. But this is how the propaganda has conditioned us to separate ourselves from spirit, to separate ourselves from God, to separate ourselves from the value of a human soul. That they have dropped down the value so low that we can look at a baby fetus and look at it like, oh, it's just a glob of fucking, whatever the dumb logic that they come up with. It's crazy. Hey, Just CJ, thank you so much for joining the live, love. Yeah, so that just be blowing me. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, dog, people, when we start taking accountability for our mess ups and our actions, we'll stop projecting this shit onto people that don't deserve it. Our children don't deserve to be punished by the shit that we are doing. Okay? We are not it's not right. Okay? The kids should not be affected by us and our lack of being intentional and shit like that. Hey, Adam, you beast, thank you so much for joining the live, love. So y'all, we talked about arranged marriages. We talked about the pregnancy pack. So be paying attention, because it's a setup, baby. It's a setup. If a motherfucker's not committed and they're not doing, like my thing is, if somebody talking about pregnancy and having a baby before they talking about, let's get a home together, let's create a foundation, let's get our LLCs in line, let's build our foundation up, let's do this, let's do that. If motherfuckers is just like, oh, I want to put a baby in you, oh, you be a fine ass baby mama, oh, no. Bitch, fuck all that. Like, my thing is, you can tell when somebody's serious and when somebody is just they either sometimes it's a way for them to play on your mind to feel like, oh, well, they want to have a family with me, but it's like, people say a lot of shit that don't mean that it's true. Okay, I know so many women that have been victims to liars, manipulators, deceivers, people that came and acted like they wanted more than what they really wanted, right? But because we were able to just be moved by their words when their actions didn't add up, right? Who was left with the shit end of the stick? That person was, because they decided to believe in a motherfucker over, I'm sure there were some signs there, some things there to show them that, nah, this person is just be popping a shit, but they not talking about shit. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we got to pay attention to as well, right? So, okay, and then I quoted this because I wanted to talk a little bit more about this, because this just confirms what we were just talking about, right? Because when we talk about the Cardi B and the Offset situation, I'm just using this as an example because it's such, most people are familiar with these two people, right? I'm using this as an example, but when they were going through their little split up or whatever, and Offset was displaying his narcissism online, right? When they were going back and forth, this is what he said. He said, I already won. You're my BM. Okay? That is what he said. Okay, so this is what I want people to realize is that yes, if you have a narcissist, which is a spiritual, they have a spiritual low vibrational entity on them, a demon, low vibrational forces that activate within them whenever it's ready. You see what I'm saying? So when you attach yourself to these types of people, okay, and then you fucking have a kid with them, it's going to be very difficult to rid yourself of that person's energy, okay? Rid yourself of the intention of whatever they're trying to put over your life, okay? When people are trying to siphon your energy and destiny swap with you and send you black magic, send you curses and shit like that, pay attention to that. But yeah, somebody that says, I already won, you're my BM. That is that's exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Hey, Mr. Lee Funk, thank you so much for joining the live, love. But yeah, so that was it, right? This is the type of mindset of these people where it's like, like we locked in for life. Like, what can you do? You're my fucking BM. Like, you can't go nowhere. And this is what you have to realize. Like, instead of just willy-nilly and out here fucking and having sex just because you want to have fun, and then you be caught up in these fucking rest of your life situations that you got to deal with this fucking demon. And now your fucking baby is attached to this spirit, right? Because spirits, they attach. So if you fucking with a motherfucker that got a spirit attached to them, please believe it's sitting there and it's harboring, it's marinating, waiting, okay, to affect your baby, okay? These spirits can be passed on from generation to generation. I was just watching something that was talking about that situation because there's been this ongoing debate about whether she was wrong for dealing with somebody while she was pregnant, so on and so forth. And it was just this hypocritical contradiction type of argument where they're like upset, like as far as Cardi B was wrong because she was pregnant, but then Offset, like somehow he wasn't just as wrong because she's pregnant. Should you be out fucking around? Because guess what? You're going to come home and you're going to still fuck her. And she's going to take in all that spirit, all those connections that you've been out here. Because you're probably out here, you know how they be sowing their wild oats and spreading their seed everywhere. So not only as a woman, when you're having sex with these men, you're taking on multiple energies from, if they're promiscuous and doing it to this one and that one and this one and that one, then not only are you're taking on all of that shit too. You see what I'm saying? So the reality is that when people have these low vibrational energies on them, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to, these are not people that you want to fraternize with and cross bloodlines with and have sex with and have babies with and things like that, because these are people that are meant to be tied into your bloodline to continue the generational curses that are tied to your bloodline, okay? This shit is before you. This shit been in your generations, in your bloodline since ancient times. You see what I'm saying? Or until however long that shit goes back for your family. It's going to vary from family to family. But the reality is that until we correct shit, this is going to continue to just fester, and you're going to keep on passing it down, okay? So that was pretty much it, y'all, with my downloads, I believe. Oh, no, there's one more that I also got, which this is for people who are entrepreneurs. If you are, creating health products, if you're creating, things that are going to be beneficial to people, healing, beneficial to people, realizing, their power and things like that, right? There's a lot of sabotaging going on across the markets, right? With people who are small businesses that have really great products, because we already know, right? If you're promoting anything that's going to really provide curing, real healing, right? That goes against those big corporations that are trying to poison you and kill you, right? They don't want anybody to come and be able to offset the things that's going to keep you coming to them, right? And getting their products, right? So this is one thing that if you are an entrepreneur, if you are, you have a product or a service that you provide, more the product aspect, because here's the thing, here's what happened, right? You're a small business, but you're a growing business. And you get to a point where you grow so much that when you grow, right, it becomes it's like overwhelming, and you have to outsource, right? You have to start to outsource your business. You have to start adding on new distributors to come in and help you create your product, right? Because now you have a larger demand, right? So now you have to start outsourcing, the way that these products are being made, when a lot of it in the beginning maybe was just like you in your kitchen, you in your office, or your space where you create, and it's like you're doing it with all of the products that are organic, that they're natural, that they're healthy, the benefits of them, right? But then here you get so big that you start to outsource to these big distribution companies, and they're not verifying and check faking and making sure that this is full organic or whatever. They're still backed by the FDA, and they're still backed by the big pharma. So like a lot of these things that are happening where these products may be great and everything, but then it's like once they get so big, right? Hey, Tone Too Much, thank you so much for joining the live. But it's like once they get so big, then that's when you have to outsource, and then these distribution companies sabotage these products, okay? So it's like this was just a channel download for entrepreneurs, because it's like you got to try so hard. Because here's the thing, when you have a high demand, that's a great thing, right? That's going to keep those customers coming. That's going to keep your product in rotation, right? So that it is going to be frustrating to some customers who find it difficult to be able to access your products, right? But what you want to pay attention to is that the authenticity of your product stays the same, because that's what happened. Your shit will grow so big and you might make so much money of it, but then somehow it's sabotaged because these big distribution companies are wanting to sabotage the product that actually really supposed to be healing, right? We see this all the time, where a lot of these hair products, or you'll see certain products that were a big deal at one point, and then somehow they get sold out. Maybe another company buys them out, whatever. All these different circumstances is still the same, right? They sabotage the product. They start putting not the actual original chemicals that made that product such a good product. Hey, Dania, thank you so much for joining the live, love. So yes, if you are an entrepreneur, if you have healing products, if you have healing services, if you are a growing entrepreneur, small business, right, that is growing, and you feel like you need to take it to that next level, do your research, okay? Talk to other companies that have took it to the next level, but that maybe you can get some advice about which distribution companies to go with to ensure that your product remains authentic. It remains that pure product, because FDA, Big Pharma, all of them, they are definitely going out and sabotaging these products that are providing healing, providing these things, okay? So this is what we want to pay attention to, y'all. And that was pretty much it for the downloads today. So we're going to jump right into the reading. Of course, my decks I have already pre-shuffled just so I can jump right in, okay? So we are going to start off with the Six of Wands. So what I'm seeing is that whatever struggles, whatever this is, this don't even have to be struggles. This just means that you are victorious over whatever it is. Typically like challenges, obstacles, things that get in the way that you remain victorious in. Situations, people that may have tried to like keep you down a level or whatnot. It's like you keep growing, you keep evolving, you're victorious. Okay, so you have overcome something. That's a beautiful thing. So let's see, what is that you've overcome? It looks like you've overcome the constraints that kept you bound, that made you feel like you didn't have access to things to make them happen, right? Now you're starting to realize that you have the power, you have the tools, you have the mindset, you have the vision, you have everything that you need to create the things that you desired. That because it looks like I said, with this coming out with the victory, this is like you letting your magic shine, okay? You're victorious because of your magical energy, okay? Because you tapped into the unseen and you understand like the spiritual realm, and you're starting to apply this to your life, okay? This is what is having you remain victorious as well as unstoppable. Okay, it makes you it allows you to, like I said, create whatever it is that you want. This is talking about limitlessness. Okay, hey Ronisha Dominique, thank you so much for joining the live, love. Yes, limitless. Okay, but with the Knight of Wands, okay, the Knight of Wands is just reminding you though to move about things not reckless. Okay, this can be like the representative of somebody who's foolish, that they do things but they don't learn from the actions, from the lessons, from the things that are showing them how to move forward in these obstacles in the future. Okay, so this is somebody that can work against their magic if they're not, sure of themselves. Okay, if they're not learning from the lessons. Hey Rio Fan 33, thank you so much for joining the live, love. So yeah, you could very well be working against yourself if you're not utilizing the things that you learned that helped you overcome obstacles. Okay, so if you are choosing to ignore these things, let's say that you went through something that showed you like, oh yeah, I need to move differently, and then you find yourself in another situation and then you like questioning on how to move when it just shows you like, baby, you better go left, because if you take that right, okay, it's gonna be another detour, right? So start paying attention to what you've learned in your challenges, in your obstacles, and start applying them. This is how you become the magician, because now it's like you're fully prepped and prepared because you already know, baby, I've been here and done that. Okay, so I already know what to do next. You see what I'm saying? And like with the Page of Wands, right? This is all about like, okay, hold on. I'm tripping because I just was talking about the Knight of Wands and then the Page of Wands came out. But when I was thinking of the Knight of Wands, that's what I was thinking of, the Page of Wands. So it's so crazy. So everything I just said goes for this, right? But the Knight of Wands is pursuing something with extreme passion, going towards it, right? With this passion and following that passion, right? To take you and lead you in the proper direction, okay? So let's see. Yes, with the Queen of Wands, okay? Now this was in reverse, okay? So what this can be is somebody, and the Magician is out here. So this is very well like, this could be somebody that is performing black magic, okay? This could be an Aries, a Leo, a Sagittarius person that could be sending black magic your way, okay? But it's like you're victorious over this because you're the magician, okay? You know how to protect yourself. You know how to make sure that you are spiritually protected regularly, okay? So this blocks any of this, okay? But if this is not someone trying to send this to you, then this is just showing that this is just showing that you are a, royal being in your goddess energy, okay? And that like when we go back to the Magician, that's all about limitlessness, okay? And with the Queen of Wands, that is how her energy is. She's limitless, okay? But she's also like a woman of leisure, okay? So this is like getting in that energy where you're like, I don't chase, I attract. The energy I give, I get it back, okay? This is just her sitting on her throne, and she's not wanting for anything, okay? And if she does want for something, she gonna call on Spirit, and Spirit is going to deliver, okay? And that's what that's about, okay? And the King and Queen of Wands is out here, okay? So this is about partnership. This is about somebody that comes in, right? The King of Wands stand on business. The King of Wands is all about going out and getting like this. It's this passionate person, but like the King of Wands is somebody that like is a hot commodity, okay? Everybody want them and things like that, right? So with the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands coming in, I'm seeing that maybe some partnership is going to be coming in, okay? It looks like, I mean, these are nothing but good cards out here, so we're not going to jump to conclusions that there's anything negative going on right now. Right now, I see nothing but a couple type of dynamic happening, okay? That could be happening. And, I don't know if this victorious energy is what is going to guide you towards this partnership. Hey, cuz, welcome to the live. Good to see you in this space, cuz. Yeah, so that's victorious over, yeah, because this could very well be, though, is that there could have been somebody standing in the way spiritually of this divine union of somebody that's in alignment with you. You guys share the same passions and things like that. And there could have been somebody in the way of that, trying to stop and slow this down for you using this black magic. But then you were victorious over this because you got your own magic, baby. It's the magic of the Most High. Okay. And it's like these dark witches or these dark empaths or whatever they think that they're doing, because they're not using God. Like, God is the end all or be all. If you have God protecting you, there's nothing that anybody with black magic, fucking hoodoo, voodoo, hexes, whatever the fuck they got going on, if it ain't covered, right? If you're not reaching out to the Most High to utilize that power, right, then it doesn't have power over anybody who's using the Most High's energy to continue to move forward, to be protected, to continue to do things righteously, right? There's nothing going to get in the way of that. Now, the only thing they can do is delay your progress, but in a sense, it's not even really a delay of progress. Every situation that you find yourself in that slows you down is actually to help you build yourself up and to gain more wisdom, gain more knowledge and information, okay? And then you take all of that and then you're built up. You're that much stronger, right? When it's time for you to remove yourself out of that. Hey, Hattie Blessed 13, thank you so much for joining the live, love. And yeah, so it's just like, but King of Swords is all about standing on business, standing on truth, right? So this is why you're so victorious, because it's like you're standing true in who you are, your value, your worth, who you are as a person. You don't try to fit in, right? You're just true to yourself, and people can take it or leave it, right? It's like, you can fuck with me because I am true and authentic to who I am. And if you don't like who I am, true and authentically, then you can carry on. Okay? It's like you can take it or you can leave it with the King of Swords. You don't care either way, but it's like the truth is going to be the truth. And it's like when you're leading with the truth, right? It may hurt. It may hurt some people and things like that, but it's like it doesn't matter, because when God doesn't care about people's feelings being hurt. God cares about the truth being exposed. Okay? That's what that's about. So it's just irrelevant, right? It just doesn't even matter in essence. But like with this card, this is all about like seeking that refuge, right? So this is like when we're having these issues and we're going to the Most High, right? We're going to the Most High. We're knowing that we're really not alone. We're really not any type of hardship, right? Even though it may feel like that, we do have places that we can go to consult with, to get in alignment and to find guidance, right? But it takes us having this space, right? But this space is isolation right here, right? And sometimes we're so surrounded by so many damn demons. We surrounded by so many people who are empty vessels that can be activated by demons. You see what I'm saying? Low vibrational forces. Then we can't really find the peace. We can't really find, because we're distracted. And so we're not seeing the signs that the Most High is trying to show us, right? Because all of these distractions, it's their purpose to get in the way of the signs that the Most High is trying to show you. So that's what happens. A lot of times if you don't take time to go into isolation and separate yourself to meditate, to have this time. Like everybody think when people say meditation, do all these things, they're like, oh, they're looking at it like, oh, that's some new age bullshit, right? But people don't realize the importance of meditation and stillness and isolation and yoga and prayer and all of these things is really to just find this connection with the Most High, to really quiet the mind so you know what is a sign, what's not a sign, so you can start to connect the seen and the unseen. Hey, love to be loved and give love. Thank you so much for joining the live. So yeah, it's like at the end of the day, if you're not able to isolate and take time to not be around distractions so you can learn your clear channel and your voice, right? Because it's like everybody got an opinion. Everybody got something to say. Everybody this is that. It's like you're being distracted from that dawning voice that's just knowing, where it just dawns on you, where you're just feeling like, okay, yes, this is the guidance, this is the clear channel, right? Everything else is fucking smoke and fog, and you know what I'm saying, and things like that. So it's like, if we don't clear this time out, right, to be isolated, to you know what I'm saying, go within, then we're not going to learn what that voice, you know, reason, or what that dawning clarity, you know what I'm saying, channeling coming through. You see what I'm saying? So yes. What else? Yes. So this is you honing in on your gifts. This is you showing also your gifts. Hey, in Gucci we trust. Hey, love to be. How is two of y'all? This is weird. Explain the caption for pregnancy pact cursed bloodline. Absolutely. So, hey, in Gucci we trust. Hey, love to be loved and give love. Hey, live forever through my vibes. Hey, everybody, what's up? So, explain the caption for pregnancy pact cursed bloodline. All right, I will go into that just really quickly. The cursed bloodline, the pregnancy pact. So that is, yes, that is like anybody basically trying to trap you into a pregnancy pact. A pregnancy pact is just like a contract. When you have a child with somebody, you're combining your bloodlines with somebody else's like ancestral bloodline. That's why we were talking about arranged marriages and things like that back in the day. When they arranged marriages, it was about the bloodlines. They didn't want to cross certain bloodlines with other bloodlines, and we got like, we don't have to bring that back, but we should, because like, who wants to continue to allow these curses to be passed down through generation to generation and to alter our lineage? You see what I'm saying? And it be affecting our offspring and so on and so forth. So that's why I was just kind of harping on the importance of us not just making pregnancy pacts, because that's what we're doing when we're having babies out of wedlock, and we're just having kids by people who probably are narcissistic. They have these low vibrational entities on them, and these are demons in essence that want to slow you down from your elevation and your growth to, you know, ascending to understanding like that connection that you have with the Most High. And so all of these things are just ways to slow you down, to keep you in a low vibrational energy. If you're stressed out because you taking care of a baby that nobody is helping you take care of, right? How can your frequency be high enough that you can overcome these low vibrational demon attachments that want to attach to your auric field? Explain the caption for procreating with anyone. I don't know what you're asking with that, but yeah, no, you don't. Yeah, you can't just procreate with anyone. I mean, you just want to be cautious about who you're procreating with. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's like we've got accustomed to a culture where we've been hypersexualized, and it's been regular. It's like a regular thing for us to have one night stands and things like that. No, ma'am. I was answering what you were saying. Oh, okay, like agreeing. Okay, I got you. I see what you're saying. But yeah, babe, that's all I'm pretty much, just was reiterating. That is just for us to find the importance in making our sexual sacred again, right? Making our sexuality sacred again, and making our like when we're having children and the selection, like being like making our standards, higher in that sense. You see what I'm saying? So we're just like, when we're considering like bloodlines, ancestry, we're considering genetics, we're considering the real connection. Like, does this person even have the capability to love? Because I know my offspring needs unconditional love. You see what I'm saying? I was explaining that people are not understanding that they can't just have children with anyone. And like you said, all bloodlines don't mix. Right. Big facts. They really don't. And this is like, it was just more me trying to bring to the realization that we're creating generational curses without us even realizing it too, sometimes when we attach to certain bloodlines, right? Because we don't know what they family been into. We don't know what they got going on. And it's like a lot of times we don't do the due diligence to ensure that the people that we're with, is really connected to a higher source, like the Most High. Because a lot of people, let's just be real, a lot of people are lost and they don't really know if they believe in God, or if they don't know, maybe they don't believe in anything, and they're just moving with no purpose besides whatever the matrix embedded in them to do. You see what I'm saying? And so that is like, why I think that people are so lost, and they don't, they're not thinking or being intentional about their sexuality. And then, like I said, it's just a curse that needs to be broken. We need to move differently moving forward. Hey, Masterminds 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you so much for joining the live, love. But yeah, so this is what this is about, though, sharing your gifts, right? After you go through these situations where you have to isolate yourself and things like that, sometimes we got to go into that isolation, allow our little downloads and our channels to come through, communicate with the Most High, understand what our mission is, what we're supposed to be. If you have that mission, not everybody is answering the call, right? Everybody has a purpose, but not everybody's answering the call. Some people just want to coast this this timeline. Sometimes people are not activating their purpose because, like we all say, God gives us free will. We decide when we're ready to answer that call. And so not everybody is willing, but the ones that are willing, right? This is sharing your gifts, sharing your wisdom, telling your story. If you've been through something challenging such as this, right? The first card that came out was victorious, right? When you're victorious, you overcame an obstacle, a challenge. Something was difficult, but you overcame that. You used your abilities, okay, of being resilient, of having all the tools that you need. You utilize even resources that maybe you didn't even know that you had at first until you were stripped away from everything. And then you was able to see that, wow, like I am gifted. It just kind of penciled out more clarity about who you are, the power you hold, your purpose, the reason why you even had to experience all these things is giving you clarity. Now you have purpose. Now you have something, you have a curriculum to provide, to teach, to put other people on game. You see what I'm saying? When you go through things like that, that's how you transmute your negative situations, transmute your darkness, okay? When you've gone through things and you've been through the dark, don't be ashamed of that darkness. Don't be afraid to release and tell people what you've been through, because it's a story. It's going to empower somebody. It's going to uplift somebody that needed that may have went through what you were going through and thought they was the only person that ever experienced what they ever experienced. And now they got somebody that can look to resonate with, to say, damn, like, if it wasn't for her, I would have just thought that, I was just out here doing this shit alone. And, now I have more wisdom on how to move forward and get myself out of this situation or whatever. You see what I'm saying? It's like, that is the power in doing that. Say that, real talk, fam. Yeah, cuz like that's the importance of us having these gifts, not just for us to hone in and benefit from them ourselves. Like, we're supposed to be activating and empowering other people, because there's mass consciousness, right? And I just was touching on this the other day because I was just seeing all this negativity being pushed about Hurricane Milton. And I had to tell everybody, like, look, like, our consciousness is powerful, and it's more powerful when we come together to like have a positive prayer to protect the people that are affected by this hurricane and things like that, instead of the fear mongering aspect when we're like, oh my gosh, gloom and doom, everybody's gonna die, you know what I'm saying, type of mindset. And it's like, mass consciousness is so powerful that when we come together and we have an intentional thought and raised vibration, right, that literally raises the vibration of the whole world. Like, it really helps uplift the universe. It really helps on an energetic level, right? We don't really understand the power that we have energetically, but if we thought about it, right, it must be that powerful for them to have this whole propaganda machine called the television, called Hollywood, called all of these things that they put in our face to condition us. If our minds wasn't that powerful, then why would it be so important for them to condition our minds and get us to believe in these ways of thinking, right? They are using our mind, right? They're utilizing propaganda to shift our ways of believing and thinking of what is not, all of these different things, right? So that's how we know that it is that important for us to hone in on our minds, hone in on our spirituality, hone in on just the things that are not just physical, right? We need to look at the things that are also unseen. And we have to also look at the things that are, that are not, damn, where was I going with that? I hate when I do that, y'all. That just really just jumped out of my head, but I was harping on it anyway. I'm sure y'all get the point, okay? So with the 10 of Cups, this is all about wish fulfillment, right? So it's like, this is what happens too. When you answer the call and you are doing you're doing your due diligence, you're doing the work, right? You're learning from your darkness, right? And all of these things. And you start to transmute that energy by sharing your story, empowering others, and sharing your experience, how you overcame your experience, right? That's when the Most High tends to start really blessing you, and things like you start seeing these gifts and these miracles and, things starting to manifest that you've always wanted to create, right? But now you're starting to see it, because God be wanting you to have these blessings and all of these things, but he wants you to be mentally prepared, spiritually prepared, and physically prepared for the blessings that he has coming in, right? It's not like he want to just give you something just so you can have it, just so, everybody that's around that is not really moved by the Most High, right? Those be the same ones trying to take, trying to steal, trying to, and manipulate and trying to get you out of everything that you deserve, right? So that's why that isolation process happens. God will remove you from everybody, okay? And then that is when he will start to put you in the position, right, to learn, to attain to things, So it's like divine timing it's so important, right? And it's like a lot of times we want shit to happen when we envision it, when we thought it was supposed to happen, but the Most High really be knowing more than we do, right? When it's for us, when we need to have that blessing right then and there or not, or he might foresee like, nah, this is going to be a better window of time for me to give this blessing to him, because I know by then they'll be through this challenge. They would have learned what I'm trying to get them to learn, and then they'll be able to apply that information. So when I give them this, they know how to preserve that. You see what I'm saying? It's like God be strategic about how he placed these blessings and things like that around you. You see what I'm saying? And it's like he waits for all the burdens to be down and waits for all of those, for you to go and deal with those things. Okay. It's like once you dealt with that, so that way you can enjoy your shit in peace and you don't have to worry about no disruptions. You know what I'm saying? It's like now you can really fully live in your purpose, really fully live on your path without feeling like this obstacle, this person, this challenge, that challenge. You see what I'm saying? And it's like now you can just go on your beginning, like your pursuit to stability, your pursuit to having this new moral integrity foundation, these boundaries, these different things that, are going to build up your foundation, okay? Now you can pursue those things with no troubles, okay? No obstacles, no people trying to come and throw you off. Hey, JT98, thank you so much for joining the live. Yeah, so then, boom. No more of these obstacles, these people trying to stop you from getting in your way, right? It's like as you're elevating, you trying to get on this mountain, here comes these people trying to slow you down, trying to stop you, trying to be conflictual with you to stop your growth and elevation. But it doesn't slow you down. It doesn't stop you. You just keep going. And that's what you need. You just keep transformation. Like, this is the thing. When you are resilient, you reinvent yourself over and over and over again, right? Now, let me talk about this, because this is important to me, because I really resonate with this, because like for the longest, I have been one of those people who is like a jack of all trades or Jane of all trades or whatever you call that, right? And for the longest, people would make me feel so like that wasn't a gift or that wasn't a skill. Like I would feel like, people say, well, don't be good at everything and then a master of none, or whatever that quote is. I don't know. I don't really know how to say it the right way, but y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And And so my thing is, a lot of times we would limit ourselves. It's like sometimes if you're good at a bunch of things, you can find a way to zero that in and make that something. You don't always have to just focus on one specific thing. And I know for a long time, I struggled with feeling like, because it was like I could not stay consistent on just one thing. It was like I would want to do photography. Then I would want to do write music, poetry. Then I would want to do videography. Then I went to DJing. Then I went to, it's like, it's always something. But whatever it was or whatever it is, you see what I'm saying? It was like a way for me to pour into some lane of creativity to show myself that I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. Like I said, this magician right here says that you can do whatever you want. There's nothing limiting you but yourself. Like if the first card that came out said that you're victorious, that means you can overcome anything any obstacle that's trying to get in your way to stop you to achieving these dreams or these aspirations that you have. But there's nothing, like when I say limitless, I mean limitless. And the only reason why, if there's any limits, is because of the limits you place on that, right? Because death is about transformation, okay? This is like not death. This is the phoenix rising, when you reinvent, right? That old you, it's like when when the butterfly sheds the cocoon. You see what I'm saying? You have transformed. You don't even exist the same way you used to exist when you was a caterpillar. You see what I'm saying? You on a new timeline. You see what I'm saying? So this is beautiful, y'all. This is a beautiful reading. I'm gonna grab a couple more for advice. So let's see what we got for advice. So for advice, we have happiness. So this is just you, yes, focusing on your peace, on your joy, focusing on the things that give you life, okay? Things that are going to bring you happiness, okay? This is also about you getting get you some like bay leaves, get you some bay leaves or some rosemary or different things like that. Having these herbal aromas in your home, and like putting bay leaves, like I put bay leaves like underneath your pillow, or put bay leaves underneath your doormat, different things like that it's about spiritual protection, but this also is about protecting your peace, right? Protecting your happiness, things like that. Okay, but yes, that's what this is focused on. So Spirit says focus on what makes you happy. Okay, what else? And Spirit also says focus on the long term. Okay, focus on the big vision, the big picture. Okay, a lot of times we'll be delayed or stagnated because we're focusing on what's in front of us right now. But I think what helps us move through these moments of stagnation is being able to remember why we're doing something, right? When we can remember and be like, like I know right now this is so tedious, and it's so hard for me to stay focused, and I'm like easily distracted right now. But I know the reason why I'm doing this is because in 3 months, when this contract comes through, this will already be done, and I'm going to be, $50,000 richer, whatever the fucking narrative is. You see what I'm saying? But it's like reminding yourself of the long-term goal is what helps us stay focused sometimes when we're moving through the short-term goals, and they're kind of like, I don't feel like fucking with this, like procrastination seeps in, all of these different things. So this is saying when that happens, go into that mindset of the big picture, okay? And also Spirit is saying wholeness, finding contentment within, okay? It's also a 33, so angel number 33 could be significant, okay? But like the wholeness, right? What makes you whole? Like, okay, this is also has an Aquarius sign on here, so this could very well be that you are Aquarius. And what is this? Is this Gemini? But yeah, wholeness, right? So anything that makes you feel incomplete, you know what I'm saying? Like that, we're releasing those things, because wholeness is like acceptance, it's surrender, it's saying like God made me whole. He made me even in whatever flaws I deem to be flaws, God made me flawless. God, even the flaws, right, are correct. We're supposed to be there. Sometimes our flaws are our strengths. Like, this culture made us think of what flaws are by their depiction of what beauty is, by their depiction of what this is, their depiction of that is. It's all their narratives, all their stereotypes that we decided to fit into that aren't even fucking accurate, right? Hey, Swain Money, thank you so much for joining the live, love. Yeah. So, that's why it's all about that wholeness and being complete within and all of those things, okay? So what else, spirits? What other advice do we have? So yes, gratitude, okay? Gratitude is always my attitude, and that is even how I pray. Like, when I pray, like, I affirm things that I already know that God has for me. Like, when I pray, I'm not begging God to please help me, please. Like, that's praying from a lack mentality. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, when you know that God is on your side and you're on the side of God, and it's a co-creative way to communicate and connect with the Most High, like, that gratitude is going to be your attitude, and that's how you're going to pray to the Most High, because you have the faith and you know that God is going to provide. So it's like, why am I begging you for something that I know you're already going to provide? Why don't I just thank you in advance to say, Most High, right on, I appreciate you. I know you showing me something right now, maybe going through this, but thank you for constantly revealing to me what I need to be aware of to make the next steps or the next move. You see what I'm saying? That is gratitude, okay? Being grateful and the silver lining is always one of those things that's going to keep us in a space of high vibration. Like, gratitude is one of the highest frequencies of energy is gratitude, okay? So what else, Spirit? We're going to get some more advice. We're going to take a couple more from the angel deck and see what advice do the angels have for us. Let me see. What do the angels have for us? If I ain't got you. All right, so let's see. What do the angels have for us? There we go. All right, so let's see what the angels got to say. All right, so tears and mercy is what we got from the angels. So with tears, it says to let it go. It takes a brave heart to show vulnerability. Ask the angel of tears to help you find the courage to express your feelings. If someone has rejected, criticized, or upset you, remind yourself that what others say is about them and not you. If you are facing struggles and challenges, be mindful that growth never happens in your comfort zone. If you feel sad for no reason, simply let the angel of tears pass through you and gently wash away your pain. Tears can heal. Feelings of loss, sadness, or incompletion. What? Hold on. I did that wrong. Tears can heal. Feelings of loss, sadness, or incompletion happen for a reason. Express and release whatever is hurting you in a safe and loving way. Your feelings, whether they are happy or sad, should not be bottled up. You are pure energy and your essence must always flow. Big facts, y'all. So tears, let it go. Like, people don't realize crying is very healing, right? I remember a couple years back, like, I don't know, it was this song that I just love, but sometimes music can bring emotions up or whatever. And it was like, I kept playing this song on repeat, right? And I mean, I've played it on repeat for days, but this in particular day, it was like the interpretation, like the meaning or how I was receiving the words shifted in the way that I was looking at what the words meant. And it meant something differently to me in that moment that like evoked all this emotion. And it was like, I'm in my mind, I'm trying to logically explain, like, you know how sometimes you're always trying to identify, like, why, if you're crying, you're going to identify with what's making you sad, or you're going to try, right? But we don't realize that we have a lot of built up emotions just stagnant, just sitting within us, because we just pushed it to the back and we never dealt with it, right? So that's what happens a lot of times, is that we have a lot of these built up trauma that we didn't heal. And this is what this is talking to. It's saying to let it go and to let the tears flow, okay? When you let the tears flow, you're letting that be released and that build up. When I tell y'all I cried for like 2 hours straight while I was listening to that song, and I eliminated the idea of trying to rationalize why I was crying, because I knew in that instant that I was purging, right? I was purging this information. I was purging all of this trauma that I have been dealing with, that I just been burying and just allowing my emotional crutches to just continue to dig and push it deeper down. You know what I'm saying? And so this is what this is about. We're not doing that anymore. Like, when we feel emotions, we're just going to let them go. But here's what happens too. See, some people will cry and just allow that energy to just linger. It's like, no, when you cry, look at it like, oh, wow, I feel refreshed. This is healing. I'm releasing this. I felt that. I processed those emotions. I know why it made me feel this way. And now I'm releasing it because I no longer want to feel this way. And whatever, whatever that is for you. But yes, having this understanding and knowing how to have this logic within your mind and to process things. You see what I'm saying? But then the next one is mercy, okay? So choose to forgive, right? So this is deep for this to come out together, because a lot of times we're letting things go. This is a form of detachment. And a lot of times it's hard for us to fully detach because we don't fully forgive, right? We try to let things go, but then we still have some form of resentment lingering on. So we can't really fully forgive because we have this lingering resentment, right? So mercy says choose to forgive, right? Forgiveness is a decision you can make to release feelings of resentment. Ask the angel of mercy to bring forgiveness into your heart and into your life. If others have hurt you or let you down and you struggle to forgive them, the angel of mercy can remind you that forgiving is not forgetting. It is letting go of negativity and opening yourself up to loving feelings and thoughts. It is just as important to show mercy towards yourself. You can't change your past, but you can change your present and what you choose to do with it right now. Understand what went wrong, learn from it, and emerge stronger and wiser. Visualize any hurt, regret, resentment, or anger you have for yourself and others as balloons that you can let go of and watch as they drift away. Okay? So that's deep. That's kind of like a ritual, and that's what people don't realize with rituals. It's just us programming our minds to direct our intention to something, right? So it's like for us to visualize in our minds that our hurt, regret, and resentment and anger have been turned into balloons, right? And then in our minds we see those balloons visually fly away and they drift out of our lives. That's a lot of times how these rituals work, how these we're manifesting things and stuff like that. So that's another thing people have to realize, is that all of these things are factors and ways to condition the mind. So your mind is being set towards what it is that you want to create. So you're setting your mind in the direction of what it is that you wish to receive, right? So it's like a lot of times like these guided meditations, everything, those are all the same form of you getting your mind in order, right? To get things to be in alignment with that, okay? So I hope y'all understand what I'm trying to say. But I want to thank y'all so much for being here, vibing with me on the live today. I want to send y'all much love, send y'all much peace. I want to also remind y'all that I have my Amazon store. The link is in my bio. I have my God is Gang divination journals. I have my Goddess Gang journals and my Goddess Gang Evil Eye Protection journals as well. You can put your affirmations in there. There's a lot of sigils and symbols and things like that are going to enhance whatever that you want to manifest. Whatever you put in those journals, it is going to enhance that energy, okay? And I want you guys to go and check that out. I also have a new YouTube channel up. It's the Vibe Priestess Tarot, so go subscribe to that, please, because I'm posting content there regularly as well. I'm trying to build up that audience too. So I want to thank you guys so much for being a part of my live today. I'm sending y'all so much love. Mwah, and mwah. I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.